We on? All right, we're going to call the meeting, Parks and Rec Commission meeting of November 1st to order. First order of business is meeting minutes from October 4th. Someone want to move that we accept the meeting minutes?
Motion move as written. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any adjustments or changes to it?
The only thing I would say, Jeff, and just not knowing where it's going to fall into the meeting, but if you wanted to follow up on the point regarding commission members and any conflict of interest and so forth.
I thought that was under other items.
Okay.
Citizens' comments?
I don't know, maybe.
Here they come.
Possibly.
No, guess not. We're all excited.
I'm excited.
All right, Assistant Director position.
Okay, as I updated the board, we have had a candidate who was offered the position, accepted the position. The only thing is I probably don't want to go too much further than that, only because we still have to dot all the i's and cross the t's in terms of paperwork and background checks and everything like that. So I probably would, at this point, leave it like that unless there are, I don't know, some general questions anybody wanted
How many
to ask. but-
candidates did you?
We received a total of 5 applications that were actually sent with everything that needed to be sent. From that, we scheduled several interviews and came from there.
Good. So you'll bring it forward when all the i's are dotted and the t's are crossed?
Yes, and probably anticipating a start towards the end of November.
Okay. Tailgate trick or treat, how did that go?
Tailgate trick or treat went very well once again. We had a good crowd. As I think I mentioned last month, we did a little bit more of a more local promotion and advertisement on it. Didn't put big signs out on the main roadways and so forth. I don't know if there was a significant difference one way or the other with what our crowds have been the last few years. The only issues I was aware of, I mean, people were in the spirit of it. We had a nice bunch of tailgates decorated, and the preschool group actually won the best tailgate with a real nice pirate display tailgate that they had put in. We narrowed it down to a final 3 with the help of the commission members who were there that day, and then decided on that as first place. Special thanks to Melissa, again, for the photo show and for being there, and Brian and Amy and John, Amy's husband, and Julie, and Katie. Katie had a lot of candy. So everything went well. A couple issues. Number one is we wish that there was a porta potty on grounds, which I can be blamed for that. In past years, they have been there. I thought it was all set, but nobody got into crisis mode that I was aware of, but it certainly would have been nice.
Yeah. I did get yelled at by someone, 5,000 kids here, no porta potty, and I said, I'm just a parking attendant, just go. What am I supposed to do?
I had extra toilet paper in my car because my husband's a hunter, so I had to give it to this mother who had it. Yeah.
Yep.
And the only other issue that came up, that Police Chief Duquette mentioned to me, and some people in town mentioned to me the next day that it was talked about a little bit on some people's Facebook site, I didn't get anything, a message on it, was that at one point we had to close the entrance down because the event was going on and cars were coming in, and it got close to 1:15 and cars were still coming in, and I think there were some people that were upset that we didn't bend, I guess, what our policy was. We do have it stated, the parking is 12 to 1, and to please plan on following our parking plan upon arrival and so forth. You have to have some restrictions to passing. And even that, if we want to talk about a little bit about possibly a way to bring a more definite finale to it. Maybe, we're going to keep cars here until we sound the horn whether that's an hour after it starts or something to give a definite start and end, and just kind of promulgate all that information as best we can, that that's what it's going to be, for safety.
Maybe we need to just clearly state in the advertisement that no cars will be permitted in after 1 o'clock, like just, just,
Because
you
it's
say
no
parking's
entrance.
12 to 1,
Yep.
but,
Yep.
people that come late, like
Right.
many of
Yeah,
us do.
no
but-
entrance after 1 or.
Yeah, but if you're not getting in after 1.
Right, and we can put that, again, on wooden sign out front, we can,
Yeah.
But the sounding the horn on the leaving part is important too, because when there was a lot of kids around, some cars just backed up and,
Yep.
so I think that's important to stay myself.
So who, was it the chief that was cutting them off? Was he stopping them from coming in?
Yeah, he communicated with me.
Yeah.
And John Harrington was also up at that spot and dealt with a lot of that as well. But we definitely communicated together, and I said, yeah, we have to stop it. So,
Yeah, I did see something on Facebook about it, so.
I mean, it's not even as though they could find an area to park in outside of the gate. It's a safety issue.
Yep.
It's as simple as that.
Mm.
The kids are walking.
Right, there's too many
Absolutely.
kids going everywhere.
Right.
And so it's impossible to bend that rule, but, yeah.
and I don't know if the issue, was simply that they couldn't get in. The people that came to me, 2 people, it was more about maybe bedside manner on telling them the news. But
Right.
I don't know.
I would make it clear next time.
Yep.
and, Yeah, and there was also something about restricting it to Deerfield residents, but I'm still not sure how we can do that.
Someone
Yeah.
suggested that too, and said maybe we can just say, hey, make sure you bring your car with your dump permit, your sticker. And that's a way, and not that everybody would, because we all have different
Right.
cars, but if you know that, then it's gonna be, I have to have it. It might deter
Right.
out-of-towners, so,
Well, that was one of the things this year we added, was just to sort of say Deerfield residents when we put the information out. And again, knowing that, just like you said, that doesn't mean there's not gonna be any, but they don't have to know that we don't have a super secure system set up if they show up, so, but.
Could you kind of tell, whether a significant amount or?
Of out of town?
I
I don't know, I think people say that.
And kids were out of town and all that,
Right.
you're gonna have that
Right.
kind of.
And it's not, in past years as well, I think I know a lot of the kids and families
Sure.
in town, but I can't swear that, that, I know there's a lot of homeschoolers in town too, and I can't say exactly,
Right.
but other people seem to be able to say exactly. None of these people are from town, so I don't know.
We could get them to sign up and be the ones at the gate, and they can tell people that you don't belong in town.
Exactly.
What's the
Deerfield
issue with having
residents-
kids people from out of town? Because if you do have friends that live in Canby
Right.
or another
Right.
town, what's the
Right.
issue with having them, so long as they're part of it?
I think that's a bigger issue, the
I think
spirit
that's
of
the
it.
bigger
Yep.
issue too. I
That you're
think
not
is
just coming to.
if they participate and
Right. And
decorate
give
and
out candy.
give out candy, I think, when it was first voiced a couple of years ago, I remember a lot of people parked separately. Oh, I'm not here to decorate, and I'm
Right.
just, so basically, they were bringing in their kids just to pillage,
Right.
for
Yeah.
for lack of a
Yeah.
better word. But, and I think that's really where the concern is.
I think
They-
the police chief said that there were 40% of cars were parked, where the porta potty is. Isn't that what he said?
That's what he said. I find that number to be
Yeah.
That was kind of high.
greatly overrated, yeah.
There was about
Maybe
20 cars,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that wasn't.
That weren't participating.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, were
They
all the
were.
cars inside, were they all participating? How was your participation rate on, as far as decorating?
As far as decorating?
Yeah.
Great, but that's not a requirement either.
Right.
Bringing candy, is what the expectation is, but,
Okay.
yeah, there was quite a few that were decorated, but.
And I don't know if all the cars, like Dwight Barnes parked out there, but he said he
Yeah.
wanted to leave his car there and not take up a space and just go, sit with his family.
Yep.
And-
Yep.
And that's fine, because you need to have that,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna even be possible to be able to separate.
I don't think so.
And it isn't a situation, people coming up and saying, because there was so many out-of-towners, I didn't get any candy, this
Right.
seems to be, a lot of candy, even at the,
There was a lot
yeah.
left over.
There was a
Yeah.
ton of candy left
Yeah.
over.
Left over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the police folks had.
Kelly had huge
Kelly had
boxes and,
Yeah, the rescue folks had a ton left.
yeah.
There's plenty of candy.
I think it's a safety issue.
Yeah.
You need to be there between 12 and 1 or you're not getting in.
Can't get in
These
after
kids
1.
walking around. It's bad enough when we're trying to park when they're getting out of their cars.
Yeah.
And that's even, you want to make sure that the parents are watching their kids when they're getting out of the cars and we're still parking people.
And we can add that end time as well. We could say that the trick or treating is 1 to 2,
1 to 2 and,
and that's
right,
when we'll
boom.
start
And
getting
some of the
cars
cars
out.
that were parked off out of it, I talked to some people and they said, oh, they just told me to go down there. So I think it was like, once it started filling up, it maybe got unclear to who, when John was directing them to me, they thought, well, maybe I should just go over there. So I think we just need to communicate probably a little better too, because some of those people would have been inside.
Well, and you had mentioned too the other day, we could even put a rope or something there and say
Yeah,
no
right.
cars in this area or
Right.
something.
But I do think, I think this was the deepest we had it so far. Like, we went all the way down to the telephone poles, and I've never seen it. The cars were right there.
Plus the overflow.
We had
so,
4
yeah.
lanes, right? One,
Yeah.
two,
No,
Yeah.
one,
1, 2,
two
3,
doubles
double
and
lanes.
two double lanes, 2 singles. I mean, it was
Wow.
deep.
Well,
It was
actually,
really
that,
deep.
that single one closer to the entrance
Yeah.
side actually was double most of the way down. I realized that people started parking.
oh, yeah, they
They
did.
Yeah,
came in-
it was a
No
lot of
snowstorm.
cars this year,
Anyway.
all the way down to the poles.
Suffice to say, it was very well attended.
Yeah. But I think we do have to say 1 o'clock, nobody comes in.
And for safety reasons, and
Right.
that
Yeah.
would be clear. People can't argue that.
They
Well,
will,
They
but-
will, but at least we'll have it out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and maybe some discussion too with the police, whatever, just, those who are more experts in parking management. Because I don't know if you have a hard deadline like that, if that means everybody 10 or 1, oh, let's rush over, then now you have a long line extending, where does that cut off? I don't know, but
Yeah.
Mm.
we could talk to the experts about that a little bit.
Joe, is there too many people to do the Monster Mash like you used to do? Or
Well-
is that too many people for that?
I mean, there's things we can add to it, but the thing that we've said sort of all along about tailgate trick or treat is what it is an opportunity for families to more safely and
Yeah.
more effectively come together and trick or treat.
Mhm.
So if we added the other stuff, then we have those elements again of when are they coming in,
When
and the
they
parking
leaving,
and
yeah.
the cars,
Okay.
because it's always gonna be so much about massive amount of cars in
Right.
and out. The other thing over there, when we used to do the lit pumpkin trail,
Yeah,
it was
that
cool.
was cool. Remember
Nighttime.
But
that?
it was,
Yeah.
it was a darker
Dark
time
times,
and
nighttime.
everything, and that had its own issues and why we eventually changed, because we were doing that in the dark, and that
Mhm.
was another
Yeah.
layer of safety concerns and stuff, so. No, I love the part of it, I mean, people participating like that, and you can see all the kids and all their costumes, and everybody's in one spot together, and so, but, and maybe kind of some of the stuff you're talking about too, Brian, is with the rescue squad and fire and rescue and police coming together to do that.
Zombie
Zombie
walk.
zombie walk the night before, maybe some of the things that kind of branch off a little bit different.
Okay. Yeah, that was fun.
What are your thoughts on possible categories for winners for the tailgate decoration? We kind of talked about that. Just keeping it at 1 or?
I think keeping it hokey and silly and fun and not cutthroat or too competitive is kind of the way to go.
Yeah.
So they were happy they won, but I also tried to,
Yeah.
over the top, make it sound like, oh, the prestigious
Yeah.
trophy, and kind of keep it low key, and so that there wasn't, because believe it or not, we've seen some of that before with parades at Old Home Days, where certain people didn't win, and it got a little ugly at times.
The 8th graders said they made out well, or they thought they were
Yeah,
getting ready to
yeah.
add it up, and they thought they did really well.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, we let the 8th grade class do the food and drink as a fundraiser thing for their trip, and they were really happy with how it went, very
They
appreciative to
did,
do
they
it.
did well.
Yeah.
They did very well.
Good.
Yep, it was a good time, I think, for that to be there.
Good. All right, Hartford Brook, the grant update.
The grant update, part of it is, may have mentioned, but I got some requests back from them around some of the map stuff I had and a little bit more information in a couple of areas, so I got all that together and resubmitted some stuff to them, so they have all that, and we're supposed to find out more sometime this month, now that we're into November.
Oh, really?
Wow. Nice.
Otherwise, in terms of Hartford Brook, we had, as people know, towards the end of September, the Bulldogs were able to use the field a few days for practice. And Brian's here and could talk about maybe how the field played for soccer, because he coached the 5th and 6th grade soccer team that played up there all season. So if you want to.
Yeah, we were very happy with Hartford, as were the referees, Sean, Beausoleil, and the other teams that came over. It's a good field, plenty of places to sit, spacious, everything about it. We have a snack machine that the 8th grade booth ran. Very happy. We held the soccer cross at the last, I think this Saturday or something, and it went well. I really like the field.
You can see the definite drop-off as to where the work was done in phase 1 of our project and where it wasn't.
You
but-
can,
But
yeah.
that was okay, too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
That was gonna be my question, would that, change? When are we thinking about phase 2?
well, this is all tying into the grant.
To the
This is
grant,
tying into the
okay.
warrant article and tying into what we're going to supply from even our revolving account and so forth. So, yeah, we're planning to hit it again come spring.
Is the,
That'll include redoing the infield?
is the maintenance done on it, like the irrigation blown out and stuff like that?
No.
So we'll have to get somebody to do that.
Yeah, Tony Brock and I have gone back and forth a little bit on that, and this is kind of the week that I started down at Bicentennial Field today. This is, now that the soccer season's ended Saturday, this is the week we start getting into everything we have to do and shutting water off, and Butch will come down for the fields
Yeah.
and all of that, so, yeah, we are on it.
Okay, good.
The only thing, Joe, is the benches. I have to take a look at them. It looks like some of the screws came loose, because two of the legs on each bench
Yeah,
they need to be fastened again. I had a mental note, I haven't done anything yet, though.
yeah, that happens down here too, eventually, they
Hmm.
jiggle them out a little bit.
Let us know if any volunteer assistance is needed, skilled or otherwise.
Excellent, thank you.
In that note, I don't know, in terms of putting things to bed, Bicentennial, does that need anything?
No, I mean, Butch is gonna come down to
Butch is
the
gonna
water
take
like I
it.
mentioned, but I am glad that you mentioned it, because today I started, kind of cleaning and scrubbing, the concession side of things, and we had a big end of the season soccer thing on Saturday, and I just wanted to say what a pleasure it is to have such
Oh,
nice,
still.
hot, beautiful working water. My very greasy
It's nothing worse
barbecue stuff.
with
And,
cold water.
So, no, I was saying to myself, I gotta remember to mention that at tonight's meeting. So, again, thanks for getting that all straightened out and giving us plenty of hot water down there.
Just one other thing I want to throw out there. I have the sister automatic pitching machine at my house, if that's in the mix for Hartford Brook.
It's baseball one as well, or it's a
Well,
combination?
it could be both. It's just a question of the arm linkage.
Yep. No, that's great.
Do you need it moved from your house?
Not at the moment.
That's good, too.
I have it covered, so.
So Hartford Brook, we still have to do the inside of the shack, right?
Yep.
For
we still
concessions
finish
area
work
and
there
stuff.
as well, yep. So, again, the plan is that we get a real good idea this month as to where we stand with the grant. Then we put the warrant article together based on the fact that we anticipate the matching the grant with that. And then, we go from there, but we kind of estimated somewhere between 50 and 60,000 to kind of get everything done, the other side and what's left over on the first side. And that's what the plan looks like.
Good. Online registration update.
Okay, I forwarded along some information today from Rec Desk, and that's the one that I'm kind of honing in on now, just to give people some brief history. I met with the selectmen back a few months ago, and they were enthusiastically on board with me pursuing a company that could handle, so we could take credit card payments and do online registrations and all of that. I mean, it's gonna really bring us into the 20th century on that stuff and get us up to date. So after going through the two primary companies, I'm really comfortable with moving forward with the company called RecDesk. The cost annually would be about $3,400. And, I mean, they do everything, and you've seen in probably other towns, and you could take a look at the information that I forward along as well. But their mobile part of it is fully accessible now. It'll do everything for us, from scheduling to connecting directly to the website to online payments. A good example, most of our payments, or the repetition of the payments, coming in for the after-school program and the summer camp and so forth, and they'll be able to do that right online now and do it with credit card and all of that. And what we'll do is we'll set up a laptop in the office that will be specific to that. If people show up at the office, they'll just go right on that. And so I kind of keep leaning over towards Katie, because she has kids right now in the after-school program. And you'll be able to, same thing, you could pick the 2 days for the week that you want to do. You'll be able to do it that way for as many weeks as you want, or however you want to do it. So I think it's going to be a real good thing for us, and it's going to streamline us a bit, and I think we're going to more than make up the cost and our efficiency and a little less office time and things like that. So that's what that I'm going to be bringing back to the board anyway, so.
So you said there were a couple, of that's the one you sort of.
Yeah, and mainly they're a little, first of all, they're a little bit less expensive, I think, because they're a little bit bigger, and they also prorate it based on the size of your town and your community and so forth. And they're ahead of the game in terms of the mobile app part of it. They're ahead on that. They also offer, one of the real things we spend a lot of time on is scheduling. And we're involved in a lot of the town leagues and stuff for sports scheduling. They have a really good program for that. So.
So will that help with facilities scheduling?
Yes.
Okay.
They'll also have a full thing and that was something else that the select board asked me to come back with, a way of scheduling facility use, facility policy, all of that, a way of checking what's available for facility use and everything. So that's going to be a big part of it as well.
Joe, what towns locally use them? Do you know?
They actually, on that email I just sent a whole list of them. Probably the closest one is Newmarket, but the
Okay.
Nashua, et cetera. There's a whole bunch of ones in New Hampshire that
Nottingham.
use it.
Right.
Nottingham, yeah.
Nottingham.
I'll send it to, I think.
Newmarket, Durham, Stratham, Nottingham. So, good. With the facilities use part of this, I will be bringing this up to the school board tomorrow night at the school board meeting, so that we're aware of it and can discuss. We've been in the process of, or have in the recent meetings, revamped that facilities or renewed that facilities usage policy. So we'll work together on that interface and how that'll all work with that.
Yeah, and there'll be two parts of it for us. One is the ability to facilitate whatever the policy is, and the other part is simply what the policy is. So with the selectmen input and our recommendations and so forth, what we have for facilities, how we want to put them out there, how we want to charge, if we charge, all of that type of stuff is still to be worked out. But once we have that, we'll have the ability to then at least keep track and have a good schedule and know exactly what all the facilities are being used for at any time.
And the school board obviously is going to need to put input in because of the school use during basketball season, during the winter, and other parts of the year. But I'm thinking primarily during basketball season, when it's always very challenging to get in there for any group. So I think this will be a huge win for that.
And this will be out of the revolving account? You're not going to put it in?
Correct. Yep. And we're going to be having a lot more programs, and we're going to make it a lot easier for people to register for them. So we're going to recoup those costs and then some.
So anything you do will be on that for like Red Sox trips and,
Yeah, so
Like that.
you basically have a family account.
Okay, that's good.
And so now your information is there, medical information specific for kids, allergies, whatever it may be. Everything will be in there. You'll be registered, your whole family, when you take the time to just put it in there. And then you'll click on basketball, and then your payment thing, and you're good to go, and everything will be sent to us. It's gonna cut down our paper, it's going, everything is gonna be more
and
efficient.
you're doing credit card now with the after-school?
No,
Okay,
but we will be as part of, when this goes in.
okay.
So many checks as Luke started school.
I was saying this morning in the office, I think the only checks I write are to Deerfield Parks and Rec. Like last week, I got Celtics tickets for the boys when we went on that trip. I said, it's the only time I think I use my checkbook, it's when I'm writing checks to Deerfield Parks and Rec.
We'll catch up sooner or later.
Mm.
All right, good.
Thank you, Joe.
You?
Other items?
I'll go first, just so we can spend more time on yours. Mine's a little more routine. And I just want to say, again, after-school program, everything's still going really well. We'd still be looking for more help, but I've just been working the program every day, and we have our assistant come in as well. We can have more options and resources with that, but we are still looking for help specific to that. But everything's been going great. All the extra activities, the families have been really appreciative of the chance to do those. And we're starting a whole new session of everything in November that we did basically in October. And they're all filled up again, from the pottery company that's been coming in to the horseback riding, and all other kinds of things. And we're also restarting our wrestling program this week, and we got a good response for that. We decided to do it this time during our after-school hours for the same reason that we're building these into the after-school activities, is we have that base of kids already there. When it comes to the wrestling program, we put it out to anybody who wants to come in. So we did pick up some people, specifically some of the coaches' kids for that, but we have a real nice group for our wrestling program as well. I think that program's gonna grow real big.
Are there any local areas that they can wrestle with?
Well, right now, it's more of almost like a gym class activity, when we have the equipment and all of that to do that. I think as it grows, we could become a certified club, and we can get more involved in that part. Right now, we're just really trying to grow our base of interest with the kids, and that's just gonna naturally fall from that. We have a lot of kids from Deerfield, once they get into high school too, they get into it at Concord, and it's a good feeder system. And our one of our primary coaches, Sean Bolduck, I think I mentioned at one of the previous meetings, he's wrestled there, and is in the Concord Hall of Fame for wrestling, and so he's a super guy. And Bill Nichols is in the program, and so, yeah, I think it's just gonna go and grow, and eventually we'll be into that kind of stuff.
Great.
So I have two questions about the after-school program. One, we had talked about Wi-Fi for the homework. Art,
Yes.
do we have an update?
Yes, we do. Thank you. I had it up in the corner of my notes, but it might have slipped by. Thank you. No, did you see that, or did you remember?
I did, no,
Oh, you already.
I was gonna ask about it anyway.
Okay.
Sorry, so.
Yes, in fact, I met with Steve yesterday. We are gonna get that in, so we will be having Wi-Fi down there.
Good.
Yep.
Excellent. The second question I had was about the busing situation. Has that anything been finalized that or any other impacts that you've heard of?
As far as them getting over here and how
Yeah.
that's working, we haven't had any concerns or
Has
questions.
the number stabilized?
A little bit, but, I mean, there's still a lot of kids coming every day.
There's still a lot of kids.
A little less than maybe the first month or so, but still a lot coming over. But the issues in terms of, I guess, some of the kids, whether it's behavioral issues, or just anything from the bus company, there hasn't been anything to us that raising concerns or
Okay.
anything, so, I mean, obviously, we're real happy and satisfied and pleased that they can get everybody over here.
Yeah, part of the issue was the balancing, and it's not anything to do with you, but was
Yep.
the balancing out the school end of having, because there's multiple, they were having to use multiple buses to get the kids here because of, they're fitting them in existing routes, so kind of
Yep.
overflow. So, but if you haven't seen an impact, that's good.
Everything's been great. Oh, and the other item I had was, we had just concluded, as I mentioned, the fall soccer season. I said it to the coaches and the families, and I wasn't just saying it to sound nice, but it was as great a group of parents and coaches and support that we've had in our programs. I mean, they just were a team, whether it was taking a kid late on their team, or working together, or, gee, I can't make it tonight, my practice can. All the teams practiced together, and I'm speaking now of the teams at the K and pre-K, all practiced together. They had Friday nights only. Grades 1 and 2 all practiced at the same time. Grades 3 and 4 all practiced at the same time. And they really bought into one program. Let's work together. We had Seacoast United work with the grades 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 on alternate weeks. Sportsmanship was great. Again, like I said, they took on players that signed up late. And kind of based on all of that, and the 5-6 level, Brian talked a little bit about his stuff, but they were awesome, because that's kind of the most challenging level, because the kids are older, there's things going on at the school, there's less teams, there's less me, because I'm primarily down here. I didn't get a chance to see the 5-6 team play the entire season. That's never happened. I haven't seen any of it, but it's tricky because their whole schedule was going on while there was always games down here with the younger ones. Brian put together the whole soccer cross event as well, which was great. And then we ended our pre-K kindergarten group, the school let us use over there Friday night, because you can't postpone the final night. So we had balls to give out, and every kid in the program got a ball again. So we had that to do. So they finished over there. And then grades 1, 2, and 3, 4, we did their final games, and then had a massive free-for-all soccer play, music, and barbecue for all the kids and their families. And it was like that. Everybody helped and donated all the food and supplies. And I put the information out Tuesday for the details on what to bring or whatever. And Saturday, we had a flawless thing
Wow.
where everybody just,
Excellent.
Nice.
came together, and it was great. Yep. I told the whole group, I sent an email, I said if there were any complaints about anything, they didn't reach my desk. So everybody was
Have you done that
praising.
Barbecue before?
No, that was the first time, yeah.
That's cool.
So Joe, just a quick question. Next year, did you want to include the 5-6 in the barbecue, or did we keep them separate because they're a little older?
I mean, because
We did our own thing, but
yeah.
some of the parents said, "Well, my younger kid's here,
Right.
why am I-"
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to anything. What I'm trying to do too is try to find a way to do something for an end of season. We go through this every season. What's the best thing to do and so forth. I know, like for instance, and you actually did up here. The Yanni's things are tough because the numbers is the same thing. We're down there, so we barbecued for 80 kids and their families. So. Like 3 times.
Wow, yeah.
In most cases, yeah, it's probably about for 250 people.
Well, it's a
But-
good thing we got that big grill.
Yeah, so, and believe me, the
No legs.
foreman was working, when I talk about like the grease and stuff
Yeah.
in the other room,
Jeez.
because I was working that all day, put them in the warmer, had 2 steamers going, and
Wow,
so.
so this was all, who was helping, I guess?
Had
Had I known,
I had a couple people helping on the grill. And
Yeah.
again, we started early, started out with the hot dogs and the steamer, so that's a little bit easier. Cooking off the burgers with the foreman, sending them out when they were cooked. They also were cooking some right off the grill. Both Bill Nichols and Jeff D'Agostino were primarily working the grill, but a bunch of other parents were just helping.
Oh,
with all
good, so
the
it just
setup.
came together, oh, good.
Yeah, nobody ever waited for a piece of food the entire day. We got a big sheet cake, and the grade 1, 2, when their games were done, they could kind of hit the buffet while the 3, 4 was playing, and so that
flowed
worked
well.
out good.
Okay.
Well, so I mean, to sort of get back to your question, Brian, I'm open, to anything that we can logistically pull off. My thing with the 5-6 is they are kind of become their own
Yeah.
entity as they get older.
Yeah.
And I guess my only thing is they kind of work through when they're younger down there with us, and then they do
And
kind of go
that's
there.
fine,
but-
because we always played
Yeah.
at Hartford Brook, but I know like Bill was with you.
Right.
The wife was here, and then
Yeah.
another parent said, well, you know,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
might be good to combine them
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. You have a fifth and sixth grade team, and you have first graders. So, I mean, they were playing together, maybe they wouldn't want that. Like I say, I'm open to anything, but it's just things to think about, that there are some logistics on all ends of
Yeah.
it, but. One thing I have to get out to, like, the basketball season moving forward, is we really don't have the ability to do team parties up here, because I do get those requests, and it's gotten that we're just so busy and stuff up here that our rooms are really not a good fit for that anymore. In fact, we used to do birthday parties years ago too, and I've kind of, I just recently had a request on that, I said, we don't really do it anymore, it's just logistically tricky. And-
As a 5-6 parent, I would like to recognize Sean Bosley and his daughter Elena for an excellent job this year officiating. And
Definitely.
he was great with the kid. They were both great with the kids, but as far as taking them aside, coachable moments, about infractions and things like that. There's still, I guess, there were still a couple of times where we were, other clubs had different interpretations of rules. So at the league level, I think we still need to work on communication and getting everybody on the same page. But it wasn't that big of a deal. But overall, just want to recognize the Beausoleils for
Yeah,
their
definitely.
help.
Thank you.
Next.
That's it for me for other items.
I have two things. One, I'll throw out real quick. The Catamount 5K is this Sunday, and I know, Joe, you're going to be down there announcing.
I am.
You got worked into that. I think a few of us will be helping out and running, walking it, helping, but anybody who would like to come down and run, walk it, it's a great cause, and you can still get a fleece hat if you register quickly. The first 100 get that.
What time is that?
9 o'clock on Sunday morning,
The fairgrounds?
fairgrounds.
Are you bringing your frame that you did last year?
I don't have that.
Who was that?
Deb, I think, made
Oh,
that.
was it?
Deb
Oh,
Horton.
okay.
Yeah.
And she's all set with
She's
Porta
probably gonna
Johns,
bring
too.
it,
Made sure we're good there.
Way ahead of us.
Julie, do you need help? Or-
I can check.
Are you
with-
organized, or is it Leah?
I'm
I,
helping to set up the,
Deb
Deb
Lynn?
Horton.
Deb Horton.
Deb
Deb
Horton.
Horton.
And I'm helping to set up the course on Saturday. A few of us will be down there kind of just, marking it and getting things ready where volunteers will be needed and so forth. But as far as race day, I can let you know. if
Yeah,
she-
okay, I mean,
Do you need the paint machine again?
Yeah, I emailed Joe
Okay.
and I'm gonna get with him about that. Iffy on that, but I have the marker flags like we did for the 250th. So,
Mhm.
but I think a combination, because we do go in that two grassy areas, that the paint thing worked well last year.
I'm gonna be in the same spot as I was for the 250.
Yeah, just on the other side of the fence, because she's not in the fairgrounds. It's all on the outside of the fairgrounds, but just the driveway on the other side. Okay, and then next thing is the coffee house. I'll just kind of run through. The setup on Friday, veterans.
I'm in.
You're in?
Yeah.
What
There's no
time
sign,
is
was there a
that?
sign up for that? Yeah.
Well, it's whenever, Veterans Day will be over by noon time. Leslie figures she's gonna be in there after 12 o'clock, getting things going. So I can let you know, but we probably should have like 2 to 3 people. She always says 2, but I always find 2 to 3 is nicer to get it done faster. So I don't know what time people get out of work, if you're working Veterans Day or
What's
not.
up?
But
Do
it's,
do you know, is Tim doing the sound?
yeah, I'm pretty sure she's all set with sound and.
Well, it's running the wires and stuff.
Yeah, she usually takes care
I'll
of
call her,
that now.
I'll call her, all right.
But I'll double check with her. I talked with her a couple weeks ago, like ticket sales were going well. So Friday we'll need 2 to 3 people, and I'll kind of confirm with her on a time.
You'll be done by 5 o'clock probably, right?
Yeah, because they come in and they start practicing then.
Yeah, okay.
And I usually let people know as far as the donations about dropping them off anytime after that,
Mhm.
because the doors are open. Saturday, we need 2 in the kitchen, and I think Amy and Melissa said they would do that, and we usually need 2 at the registration table. And someone in that group, we need to do the announcement. I think, Ernie, you did it last time, if you want to, or anybody wants to, just explain, the Joe Stone Scholarship and thank people for being there to support it. But we need 2 at the registration table. And so if we have 4, and the 4 people are free to get in, And we try to keep it at that so that the rest is paying and it goes towards a scholarship. And then same on the end of the evening cleanup, but you guys know, most people stay and help out, but we need to make sure
Yeah.
we're there. And someone takes home all the linens to wash and get back to Leslie. Saves her a little bit. Regarding donations, I sent out a reminder to our group. I also sent out an email to the parents that I had email addresses for of the previous winners. You guys got that one. But I sent it out to everybody that I had addresses for, hoping that they would support it. I also sent out another email to some of my known coffee house supporters that usually like to bake for it and help out. So I'll send out an updated list, but if you just check the list and know, like Katie signed up for a few things, a bunch of you signed up for a few things, and I know I'm gonna bake a few things and donate, but trying to see how many other people we can get before I go and tackle more. And same with you guys.
Yeah.
But we usually fill up, it's just trying to get to the last minute of making sure we have enough there, because that's what people are there for, that dessert. And then as far as getting there, Deb Bover is gonna take care of the coffee, but I think if you guys are there for the kitchen by 6:15, because people start showing up at 7 o'clock and
Right.
staking
Yeah,
out their
they're sticking their
property.
table.
Yeah, and then they want coffee, and they're looking for their dessert, so,
That's good, Deb's gonna do the coffee.
Yeah,
just 'cause
yeah,
it's
yeah.
heavy.
yep. So, I'll send out an update on, stuff,
Did you
but.
need, I think I signed up for coffee, do you need that earlier,
You did.
like the night before?
Yeah,
or
the night
something?
before, I think it's on the list, like some things we need Friday, so it's there ahead of time. Unless Saturday afternoon you bring it by, but she'll start making coffee probably around 5:30-ish. So,
Is there any left there? I mean, I always feel like we have so much left there, too.
it's hard to know,
What's left there?
coffee,
Coffee,
Oh,
yeah.
You had
I don't know, 'cause
4 pounds on the list?
that's what,
That was
on Leslie's contract, what
4
what she asked
pounds, and
for.
then the tea.
It's
and-
always good to have extra, there's,
Yeah, it's like.
so do you need coffee? You're gonna be getting coffee?
people are signing up for it.
Yes.
For-
So bring it, yeah,
to
the
bring.
coffee as well. Okay.
Yeah. And I think on her list, she had like 4 quarts of half and half, and
Yeah,
almost
I
think
signed up
you'll
for
want-
half and half, the cream, the almond milk.
I would have extra half and half. I remember
Lunch.
running out to Mr. Mike's.
We did,
Best
not
Coffee
last
House.
year, but the year before, right? Didn't we?
Yeah, whatever year
Yeah,
it was.
I think Andy brought some from our house.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it might not be bad to just
Yeah.
buy a half gallon of it, and have that
Right.
couple quarts,
Okay.
extra, because,
Because it said cream and half and half, so if I do a mixture of both,
Oh, okay, yeah.
you
yeah,
know.
or whatever you want. Half and half is just fine. You don't have to
Okay.
do both.
Just bring
Do
the
all
cow.
half and half.
Let's bring the cow. Well, my brother-in-law has 350 cows, I can bring one
But-
now.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you're connected.
I know.
So, yeah, so just trying to get, and and you guys, people that might go to the coffee house with you or like to go, feel free to send that email along and ask
Yeah.
them that link to donate, and you can click on it and see how updated it is and how it's filling in. A few more have signed up since, sending out those emails, so
Yeah.
it'll come together.
I can be there anytime, do anything, bring anything, so I don't know if I should just wait and see what you want, what you need, or what.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can email you next week.
But just
early.
count on me for whatever.
Okay.
I've never been, I'm gonna be able to
You're
go
gonna
this
be able to
time,
go?
so
Oh,
So
nice.
maybe you can do the
Nice.
announcement.
I can do anything you like,
Yeah.
Bring your harmonica.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Little impromptu,
Yeah,
anything you
yeah,
like,
guest
Yeah.
speaker, yeah, that'd be nice.
anything you like.
would you rather speak to it, Joe, if you're gonna be there?
I'm sorry?
You speak better than I do. Would you rather have the,
I'm a utility
Introduction.
guy. Put me in there for my 2 innings, whatever, pinch run, I can. jet,
I
play a
think,
couple
I
innings
think
in the
you should
field.
do the announcement, we'll put Joe, since he's a drummer, we'll put Joe on the snare drum, so you tell a joke,
perfect.
like the old Benny Hill.
Do you have a usual shtick that you use, just so I'll be prepared?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
But that's it. I think it'll all come together. It's usually people just sign up that last week and know what they're doing, but.
Well, especially if you said the ticket sales are brisk,
Yeah.
that's the main thing, where I think it's everybody know when it's happening and
Mhm.
gets us into it.
Yeah, people wait till the last minute to
Well,
sign
now
up
that
for
it's
stuff.
November,
Yeah.
they'll be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thinking and signing up.
And they'll need to go out after the safety service meeting in the morning,
Right, right.
be a stress reliever.
And I can help on Friday as well. I might need a costume change, but,
Okay.
but,
That'll be good. I wish I was here for it, but it's usually the following weekend. That's why, wasn't even thinking about it, but she moved it up a week. But we'll see how. Doesn't seem to be affecting ticket sales, so that's good. All right? That's it.
and I should mention, we mentioned about the cleanup from Veterans Day, but I should obviously mention as well Veterans Day.
All right.
And we always hold it again on November 11th at 11 a.m. It does run into some tough competition with the school's grand event, because they do it during the school day, and they have every child and whatever, but it's still a real nice event. We do get a lot of the scout organizations that are coming again, and so I'm just gonna keep that in mind. We'll be there 11 for that.
Just one item follow-up too is the rec position. We were wondering about another person that was interested, and there'd be no issue with that. You just have to be careful what you vote on, and if they were connected to the program, they'd have to not vote on stuff, so,
So that was in regards to Amy Carlson
Yeah.
asking if she ever became on the board,
yes.
where she gets paid to run programs for us, if there'd be any
Yeah,
conflict of
it'd be
interest
all
issues.
right. I'm still not sure what we have for numbers officially. We had quite a few tonight, but we're missing Jack, so I think we're full right now, but
Mhm.
what happens in March, people come up. And I was also gonna say something about Wi-Fi, but you stole my thunder, so.
You asked.
All right, anybody else have anything?
I had one thing that I should have followed up on this prior to the meeting, but the survey
Thank you.
to talk about, location of 250th, not 250th, future Old Home Day. I put together, how many questions do I have here? I have 9 questions, yes or no questions. I'll pass this, I don't have enough copies, so I can email out a copy for folks to look at. And then, I know we had talked about having a mailer or having information to fill something out either online or to pick up a questionnaire to fill out. But that was supposed to be with a mailing, I think.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that up and reminding me of that, because I told Jan today that I'd be talking to you about it tonight.
Oh, okay.
Because she came to see me, and the newsletter is going out pronto, so I told her I'd update her in the morning on where we stand. It's not gonna be a bunch of space for us,
Yeah.
but if we had something that could point people in the direction of where to do said survey or
Yeah.
something, we could at least put that in.
So pronto, like tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, even if you just sent me an email maybe with, is it maybe a survey, monkey survey thing, or?
Yeah.
So this survey will go into SurveyMonkey?
We can put together a Survey Monkey and have these same questions in paper
Okay,
format.
well,
as
yeah, if you can,
analysis.
if everybody's okay with the questions, if you can send that to me, I'll get it to Jan. And I can't guarantee that she can give you this much space, but that's certainly what we'll shoot for.
Right, no, I'm not expecting her necessarily to give us that much space, just a link to the Survey Monkey.
Perfect.
And then
Is
these,
to be available.
yeah, we
Would be
could, and
available.
then to also say paper copies.
You would
for the
mention
same
that.
questions,
Yep,
not question mark.
Yep.
So it would just be like a little 2-line blurb.
yeah, if you can send me that tonight or whatever, I'll get that to her in the morning.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that I'm hitting questions or that I'm not asking too many questions. I mean, do we want to, the point of this, without actually saying, do folks prefer having these Old Home Day events at the fairgrounds or having them at the gazebo, town center?
Something explicit, you mean?
Right, I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't know if we should go that route or just sort of gather this information and then figure out.
Well, I like how you laid it out you're asking, are you likely to attend certain events that would have to be held at one place or the other?
Right. Yeah.
So,
I think you're better off not asking the specific question.
Okay,
yeah, I do too. I think the way you laid it out was
Yeah.
brilliant.
okay,
So-
and then we can,
Then we can
tally
figure it out from
numbers.
the numbers.
So we wanna go from there, okay.
And you provide comments, so,
Hmm.
that as well.
So this won't go in the newsletter. There'll be a notice of a link to go to, or I'll
Right.
see it somewhere.
And how to get to the hard copy if you
Yeah.
want.
Right.
That's great. Thank you, Amy, for doing that.
Yeah, awesome, Amy, thank you.
Anybody, anything else?
So we didn't want to have a question asking if people preferred town center, or,
No.
I thought that's what Jack was trying to,
Yeah.
No.
but I guess
Not a direct question.
Not a direct question.
because,
It's,
Just trying to-
it's gonna be more of a selectman's choice than our choice. So I'd
Okay.
rather find out from this what people,
What people want.
and then we'll
want,
figure
yeah.
out how it would
How
go. We
best
could,
accommodate it, yeah.
we could present to the selectmen, you know, everybody wants to have baseball and rodeo, so we kinda have to do some of it down there, but they wanna have a barbecue too, so it'll be back here. However it comes
Yeah,
back, but
Right,
Right.
we'll have to figure that out from what we
from what we
see.
get for results.
You'll
Yeah.
get a better sense of what you need to plan for.
Right.
Right, and I spoke with Dwight, and he definitely wants to have a baseball game during Old Home Day, and he said the school field is completely fine to have that at, if, you know, they can't keep up the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
All right.
So he
Yeah.
said the school grounds is,
Baseball, yeah.
I think for a lot of us, we like that shorter diamond.
No.
yeah.
You're not
Well, as
playing.
long as there's not any sinkholes in the school field.
So. But again, thank you for doing that, that's great.
Good stuff.
That was all I had.
Anybody else? I want to say thank you for everybody coming, this is like
This is
the
excellent.
first time.
This is big.
Yeah,
Mm.
wow, so, and on that note, take a motion to adjourn,
So move.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Time for some
Start
biz?
of what's going to be a fantastic month.